everyone. In today's short talk, we will speak and see some important developer features from Summer 25 release. And to do that, we have Sebastian Techera, who is a Salesforce Architect at Cloudgaia. Welcome, Sebas.
Hey, Thiago. Nice to be here with you.
Well, before we start, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and activate the bell to receive alerts about our new videos. Sebas, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Thiago. So I will share my screen. So I will share with you some improvements of the Salesforce release Summer 25. Some technical improvements that involves Apex programming or technical skills. The first one I want to share with you is the TypeScript availability for Lightning-based components. So here Salesforce has released type definitions for base Lightning components, which means that as developer now we can import these definitions into our components to provide more robust type checking and handling. You know that JavaScript is like kind of a really open language. So with TypeScript, you can import the specific type of what you are trying to use, and it's more control what you want to do. So for example, here in the code that you are seeing in the screen, we have import the generic types, and then specifically retrieve the type information for the base Lightning button component. So this is how you can use this TypeScript new functionality. Going to the second one that I want to share with you is the SLDS linter beta and SLDS2. I want to be clear that this is in beta, so it means that maybe it can have some minor errors or some minor improvement that are going to be fixed soon. So it's like a beta version. Salesforce has updated SLDS linter, a CLI tool to help developers identify issues within their HTML and CSS files for Lightning Web Components, or CSS or CMP files for Aura components. So here I'm leaving you the GitHub link where you can find the repository with all the linter. Something that I want to mention here and be clear that once you are using the linter, you have to use it regularly. It means that maybe can cause some dependency at some point, because once you start using it, you should be using it all the time. But apart from that, it's really a really good tool to try to be under a good quality of your code that you are developing. Going to the third item now that I want to share with you is the outbound message timeout updates. So outbound message are one of the platform oldest automation features and allow you for quick and easy integrations with SOAP-based APIs through an intuitive tool. Now with this release, Salesforce is reducing the wait time for outbound message to 20 seconds, down from the current 60 seconds. So what Salesforce says, like the purpose or the objective to this improvement is, with a lower wait time, the system makes better use of resources and can process more messages. So this is the reason why Salesforce is doing this reduction, the time. Some comment that I want to leave here is that I know that maybe outbound message is something old that maybe you are not using now with the newest practices, but be careful in case if your system is old and maybe you have, I don't know, an implementation that was done 5 years ago or 10. So be careful and check if you have one of those, and be careful because now the wait time is being reduced. So be careful. Now it's 20 instead of 60. Check out if you have some output message and check the timeout. Going now to the next one is the dynamic formula evaluation in template mode. So here Salesforce updated the formula builder class by adding a new method called parse as template. When we are using this, the formulas are executed in so-called template mode. This means that instead of returning a fixed value, the field values are dynamically populated directly into the formula string. So this is an example. This is a code that uses this template mode. And here I want to do a really quick demo. So I'm going to stop sharing. So here I have opened my developer console on my training organization for Trailhead. And this is the code that I was showing in the slide. So here we are doing a query on the contact object, and I'm querying some fields, like for example, first name or last name, title, and account name. I'm using the formula instance, and this is the important thing here, the parse as template. You see here is true. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this code, and let's see what is the result. So I'm running this code, and here clicking on the debugging. So you can see that the fields are being retrieved dynamically from the values itself. So here I can see Gonzalez, comma rows. Let me put here. So here you can see Gonzalez is the last name, comma first name is Rose, as, and then the title SVP procurement, at, and the account name is Edge Communications. So you can see that you can put whatever text you want between the values itself, and dynamically this formula as template as true is going to replace the field itself from the value that contains that field. So this is really useful to have better code implemented here instead of doing concatenation of the strings really long. Here you can put all the code in one line and really simple to read. So going back to the slide, I'm going to show you the last item. So this is the local development for single Lightning Web Components. Again, this is in beta. Beta, as I mentioned before, take into consideration that you can face some minor issues or minor improvements that probably are going to be fixed soon. So the benefits here are, for example, you have instant feedback on what you are doing. You can have faster iterations between design and debugging, allowing developers to focus more on the user experience. You can design, develop, and debug really fast. And then you, after the initial setup, I could eventually work offline. That means once you do all the installation of the plugins that you have to do, once you open your org and once you open your component, you can disconnect your internet and you can work. I'm going to show you now then the changes and as so fast are reflected, but you can do all the setup and then working offline, for example, all the day, and then at the end of the day, you can put your internet again online and do the deploy only one time. So that's a really good benefit. And last one is, well, what I explained, significant time saving by not having to deploy every time. So you save a lot of time. And then what should be done? So first step is to install the LWC local development server plugin in the Visual Studio Code with the command sf plugin install Salesforce plugin Lightning dev. Then you have to enable the local dev on the org that you are going to use. And then you have to run the command for the particular LAWC that you want to use, SF Lightning Dev component. So now let's do a mini demo. So here, one of the steps that you have to do is go into your org. Again, this is my training org. You can go to the setup here. You must go to the setup here and find, you have to put local dev here. Search that and see if this is on. So I did this before, that's why it's on, but probably in your org is off. You have to put it on. So enable local dev should be on. You're going to see that after that, this pop-up here, local dev is enabled, is going to appear at the top of the page. After that, you have to go to the Visual Studio Code and run, as I mentioned before, the first command. This command here is to install the plugin. So I'm going to do it. It can take few seconds to process, but this is important because without this command, you are not going to be able to execute then the command to open the component. So here you can see that now the command was executed, and now we are ready to run the next command to open the component. So you have to put SF Lightning Dev component. I'm going to put this here. I have here now the screen splitted. On the left side, we have the Salesforce org, and on the right side, we have the Visual Studio Code. Now I'm going to run the command to open the component, SF Lightning Dev component. You click enter, and you are going to see that a pick list is going to be displayed, and you have to select the component that you want to open. In my case, I have only one component as of now in my Trailhead org. So you can see I have only one test, LAWC Summer 25. You click enter, and after that, the component is going to be opened in your org. So let's wait for a few seconds. You see now that here we have some logs, and on the left side, we have the component. What I'm going to show you now is I'm going to do changes. So let's see here. For example, this is the HTML that I have on this component. I'm going to, so this is in Spanish, I'm going to change it to the delivery system. And see here, I'm going to save, Control S, and see how fast the page was refreshed and the change was done really, really fast. So let's do one more change. Put Coca-Cola, change it for Coke. And Control S, you see, really, really fast, the HTML is being updated. So that's what I mentioned before. Let's think on how fast you can do changes in the HTML and see it on the real component, how it's going to be displayed. It's a really good benefit. You can also change the CSS. For example, I'm going to change the background here to see how it looks. And think on the user experience that a developer maybe is not thinking because how much time it involves to do changes and deploy all that stuff. Now it's really, really fast. I'm going to change the color. I'm going to click to enter Control S. You see, as soon as I'm clicking Control S, the browser is refreshed and the change is done really fast. Also, I can modify the JavaScript if I want. Let me show you. For example, this is a counter. If I do click here on the plus, so common sense is plus is increasing. So I'm going to change as a demo now. I'm going to, this is the method increment Coca that increase once you click here. I'm going to change it for the demo purpose and put minus minus. So now I'm going to decrease. I'm going to click Control S. It's saved. You see how how fast it's reloaded. And now if I do click here, you see the change was done. Now I know that maybe the name is not so descriptive now, but to demo purposes, you see that I did a change in the JS and was reflected really fast. So this is a really good benefit. Any change you want to do is reflected instantaneously. So that's all I have for now. As you know, Salesforce every release adds a lot of functionalities. Those 5 that I showed you were the ones that I love more. But again, you can find a lot of benefits in every release that Salesforce does.
Well, thank you very much, Sebas. It was very good, and you are invited to come back in the future with other subjects, no features, what you want to share here. And don't forget, guys, to add Cloudgaia on LinkedIn, Instagram, social media, in all places it is at Cloudgaia. I will leave in our videos descriptions also the link for Sebastian and me, no? So you can also add us there on LinkedIn. So again, thank you very much, Sebas. See you in the next episode. Bye
Thank
bye.
you all.